pranams to revered Secretary Maharaj and all Maharaj present here. My pranams and namaskars to all the dignitaries and devotees present here. I seek the blessings and strength from all gods, goddess and sages to help me render my topic about Thakur, who himself is Sarva Deva Devi Swarupa. When you light a dhoop in your Thakur ghar, its fragrance spreads to all other rooms in your house. Krishna's message has slowly spread to all continents of the world. How did it happen? Just like a dhoop's fragrance, nishabd, nirvighna, nirdvandha, nissandeha, nirvivad, silently, without obstacles, without conflicts, no doubts, no controversy. Thakur's message has reached to almost all corners of the world with no pomp and show, no force, no sword, but just like a dhoop, silently spreading its fragrance, and the dew silently falling everywhere, nishabd, nirvighna, nirdvandh, nisandeha, nirvivad. In such a way, the world, thought and human behavior has never undergone a phenomenal awakening and is coming such like never-ending waves. Thakur's thoughts, ideas, teachings is breaking all barriers, customs, samskaras, and simultaneously removing the unessentials of all religions in an unprecedented way. From last 150 years or so, it has influenced writers, poets, philosophers, scientists, sadhakas, historians, world leaders, teachers, students, and many more. And his teachings has become a spiritual therapy for this cynical era. Sri Ramakrishna's main teachings included God realization is the supreme goal of life. God realization is possible for all. Synthesis for the 4 yogas and non-attachment. Harmony of religions. Jotomot, Totopot. God dwells in all people. Shiva Jnani Jiva Seva. And women empowerment. Narendranath had an intense desire to realize the truth. He was bold, free thinker, modern, as well as doubter. He once asked Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, "Have you seen God?" Thakur replied, "Yes, I have seen God. I see him as I see you here, only more clearly. God can be seen, and I can show him to you too." For the first time, Naren found a man who dared to say that he saw God. That religion was a reality to be felt, to be sensed in an infinitely more intense way than we can sense the world. And he actually saw that religion could be given. And Naren sat at his feet for 6 years, clearing all his doubts. When a being like Vivekananda is converted, then the whole of the 19th century is altered. His life is a story of religion in practice. His life enables us to see God face to face. Thakur gave a new dimension to the meaning of religion. He said, "Religion does not consist in erecting temples or building or attending public worship. It is not found in books or in words, or in lectures, or in organizations. Religion consists in realization. Religion is something that has to be experienced and lived, and that the goal of human life is the realization of the ultimate reality which alone can give a person supreme fulfillment and everlasting peace. His religious activity and experience were in fact comprehensive to a degree that had perhaps never before seen attained by any other religious genius in India or elsewhere. Now, whenever you go to a temple or a church or a mosque, what is needed to achieve is spiritual awakening and character strength. And this should be the central theme of religion and temple worship. The next thing he gifted us that God realization is possible for all. The householders need not renounce the world, but they should pray sincerely, practice discrimination between the eternal and temporal, and remain unattached. God listens to sincere prayer. Intense longing, vyakulta, is the secret of success in spiritual life. Once someone asked Thakur, how can one make one's devotion steady and permanent? Thakur replied, if you hang a jar of water with a sling in your room, the water will dry up after a few days. But if you keep your jar under the surface of the Ganges, it will never dry up. Similarly, if one's mind is immersed in all-loving God, one's devotion never dries up. One should not feel secure after having love and devotion only for a day. It will soon dry up like the water in the hanging jar. On his second visit to Thakur, Master Moshe asked 4 vital questions on behalf of humanity. Thakur gave all the replies in such a simple manner that no teacher or commentator is necessary to understand it. The first question was, Sir, how may we fix our minds on God? Ramakrishna answered, repeat God's name and sing His glories and keep holy company. When a tree is young, it should be fenced all around, otherwise it may be destroyed by cattle. The second question was, how ought we live in the world? Thakur replied, do all your duties, but keep your mind on God. Live with all, wife and children, father and mother, and serve them. Treat them as if they were very dear to you, but know in your heart of hearts, they do not belong to you. In this connection, Ramakrishna gave several examples. A maidservant in the house of a rich man performs all the household duties, but her thoughts are fixed on her own home in her native village. The tortoise moves about in the water, but can you guess where her thoughts are? They are on the bank where her eggs are lying. First, rub your hands with oil and then break open the jackfruit. Otherwise, they will be smeared with its sticky milk. First, secure the oil of divine love and then set your hands to the duties of the world. The third question was, is it possible to see God? The answer came, yes, certainly. Living in solitude now and then, repeating God's name and singing his glories and discriminating between the real and the unreal. These are the means to employ to see him. The fourth question was, under what conditions does one see God? Ramakrishna answered, cry to the Lord with an intensely yearning heart and you will certainly see him. People shed a whole jug of tears for wife and children. They swim in tears for money. But who weeps for God? Cry to him with a real cry. Longing is like a rosy dawn. After the dawn, out comes the sun. Longing is followed by the vision of God. It is hard to acquire the qualifications of the study of Vedanta. But if you want to read Kathamrita, no qualification is required. He simplified the teachings of Upanishads and made it achievable for all. Boner Vedanto ke ghore ghore niye eschen. Vedanta, which was in hands of few, now is in our reach. Just 3 steps he told in this Kali Yuga. Ekanistha naam japa of your Ishta. Meditate and do japa. Mone, bone, ar kone. One should withdraw within oneself in our innermost soul. Sit in an isolated place or retire to a secluded corner of your room. Now and then visit a holy person or read a holy book. In whatever capacity or situation or responsibility you have in society, do your utmost duties and responsibilities sincerely, unselfishly, and hold on to God. These practices will pave your way to God realization. Gospel means God's spell or good story. Ramakrishna's stories and parables are very positive, instructive, and constructive. He always inspired people. His parable of the woodcutter is typical of this. A holy man told the poor woodcutter, "Go forward." The woodcutter took his advice, advanced further into the forest, and found a sandalwood forest. He sold the sandalwood and became very rich. Then, one day, he thought to himself, "That holy man told me to go forward. He did not ask me to be satisfied." So, he went further into the forest again and found a copper mine. Going further still, he found a silver mine and then a gold mine. Finally, he found a diamond mine with which he became exceedingly wealthy. Ramakrishna said that there was no end to spiritual bliss, spiritual illumination. Go forward, go forward, go forward. And from whichever state, situation, circumstances, ability, desires, etc., you are at present. He then showed us a unique process for the removal of ignorance in us and to manifest our inner divinity. Synthesis of 4 yogas. What are those? Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, and Karma Yoga, which are necessary for the development of a balanced and fully functionary personality. Jnana is all right, but there is the danger of its becoming dry intellectualism. Love is great and noble, but it may die away in meaningless sentimentalism. A harmony of all these things is the thing required. Ramakrishna was such a harmony, such a unique personality, such a synthesis of the utmost of jnana, yoga, bhakti and karma. It has never before appeared among mankind. Practicing only one yoga will be very difficult in this jet age. Thakur says that live in the world unattached and keep your bhakti and jnana burning through unselfish work and take some time for yourself doing japa and dhyana. Practicing 4 yogas, he gifted us a Pancham Yoga, Abhyas Yoga, practice yoga. This is the Mahaushadhi or Brahmastra for all remedies in this age. Sri Ramakrishna was the first person to show through direct experience the transcendental unity of all religions. His message implies 2 kinds of religious harmony. Harmony within Hinduism and harmony among world religions. Thakur did not identify himself with any particular sect of Hinduism, but accepted Hinduism as a whole. He showed that dualism and non-dualism are other schools of Hindu philosophy, represent different stages of the integral experience of reality, and that the various Hindu deities are different aspects of the Supreme Godhead. His message has brought a great deal of harmony among the Hindu sects, and Thakur himself has become the symbol of the unity of Hindu religion. Joto Moth, Toto Poth. As many faiths, so many paths. In spite of the difference they lead to ultimate truth, means the religions of the world are not contradictory or antagonist. They are but various phases of one eternal religion. He said that it is a glorious thing that there should be so many paths, because if there were only one path, perhaps it would suit only one individual man. The more number of paths, the more the chance of every one of us to know the truth. If I cannot be taught in one language, I will try another, and so on. Thakur's emphasis on truthfulness and renunciation of lust and greed has given a great boost to moral life in modern times. Sri Ramakrishna only wanted that the animal instincts and drives lodged in the depths of the mind should be kept under control. Giving a free license to animal instincts harms not only the individual but the whole society. The enormous increase in the incidence of crime, violence, immorality, alcoholism, drug abuse, breakup of family life, and so forth in the modern world is the social consequence of unbridled pursuit of lust and greed. Through these spiritual practices, a person can overcome their evil tendencies, and divine grace can redeem even the worst sinner. Therefore, one should not brood over the past mistakes, but should develop a positive outlook on life by depending on God. Thakur had a wonderful ability to eradicate evil tendencies in others. The subtle is more powerful than the gross. It is easy to kill a man, but very difficult to kill his evil tendencies. Thakur killed the greatest demon in this age, doubt. Through his divine life and spiritual experiences, he removed all doubt from those who came to him. He realized God and imparted realization to the westernized disciples who challenged him. Sri Ramakrishna's advent counteracted the evil tendencies of the Kali Yuga and started a new age. Next, he told us that God dwells in all people, showing the potential divinity of the soul when he uttered Shiva Jnane Jiva Seva. Service to man is service to God. To serve Jiva as Shiva. Since man is potentially divine, service to man is indeed service to God. Instead of looking upon a needy person as an object of pity, he should be looked upon as an object of worship. Such an attitude elevates both the giver and the recipient. One day, Thakur, in divine state, called Ma Sharada and told her, "You have to take the responsibility of my work and the disciples." Ma replied in negative. Thakur again requested her to help him in his work. Ma again disagreed. Then Thakur asked her, "What I have done? Just little. You have to do more than me, and that you can do better." Ma replied, "Ami me manush, ami ki parbo. I am a woman, so I am not fit for that work." Sri Ramakrishna replied, "You can do far better than me, and you are capable for that." Thus, Thakur not only bestowed her with knowledge and spirituality, but gave her empowerment to engage herself in his future work of spiritual administration to many souls. 150 years ago, telling his consort to share the responsibilities of his work with equal power and giving equal importance and status. What an example of householders! When women had no status, power or freedom to take up the responsibility of such a monumental work, thus paving the way for women empowerment in future. Did Ramakrishna say anything new? Not really. He reinterpreted the same ancient truth. Thakur said, the money which was in vogue at the time of a Nawab, a Muslim king, was outdated with the rule of a Badshah, Muslim emperor. The coin changes according to the rule of different dynasties. The ancient avatars preached the message that was needed for the particular age and situation in which they appeared. Now, the new avatar has come and preached according to the need of our age. 100 years ago, people did not know much about modern medicines. They treated their diseases with herbs and natural medicines. Now, we use the antibiotics. Herbs and antibiotics are both medicines, but their use changes with times. Krishna said in the Gita, "Arjuna, I am speaking to you the same truth again." The scriptures never tire of declaring the same truth again and again in different languages, in different age. Last but not the least, Thakur's Abhaywani. When asked, "But What does one gain from meditation? Thakur answered, as the children inherit the wealth of their parents, so those who meditate on me will inherit my treasures. His treasures are discrimination, renunciation, knowledge, devotion, unselfish love, and samadhi. On another occasion, he said, I am the destroyer of karma. I am the French colony. At the time, India was divided among three colonial powers: British, French, and Portuguese. If a man did something wrong in British India, he could take shelter in the French colony, where the British had no jurisdiction. I am the French colony means that whatever sinful actions one does, one need only to take shelter in Ramakrishna to be free from fear and punishment. No worldly rules can bind such a person. Only a savior has the power to save and eradicate people's past karma. As Swamiji summed up Thakur's message to us, my master's message to mankind is, be spiritual and realize truth for yourself. To proclaim and make clear the fundamental unity underlying all religions was the mission of my master. Other teachers have taught special religions which bear their names, but this great teacher of the 19th century made no claim for himself. He left every religion undisturbed because he had realized that in reality they are all part and parcel of one eternal religion. The subject of the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is God and God alone. It is concerned with how to realize Him and nothing else. Ramakrishna's simple and unostentatious utterance was, I know only God and nothing else. In the beginning, in the middle, and in the end of the gospel, you will find only one thing, God. On this holy occasion, let us pray to Thakur for his grace and strength so that we can show in our life that dharma does not mean words or names, but that it means spiritual realization. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you.